Now, I've been a fan of Steven Universe for quite some time now and noticed certain similarities between a certain historical book over the years of watching the show. Steven Universe has some interesting parallels with certain stories from the Holy Bible, making it quite the allegorical tale recounting certain events from the book. Now, what I want to do in this particular video is explore some of those parallels and try to decipher the story of Steven Universe through the eyes of the Bible. Now, I'm sure I'm not the only person to take notice that Steven Universe comes off as an allegorical tale from the Bible, which just might be a true statement. I mean, a lot of people might assume that the Universe, at least the majority of the Universe, are potentially atheists, but that doesn't mean that they didn't take inspiration from the epic tales told in the Holy Bible. After all, they've taken inspiration from various other novels, so it's possible some of the stories within the Bible inspired them to put their own unique spin on certain narratives within the show. This also might have been a subtle way of exposing their audience to the Christian religion. Now, before I go too far too soon with assuming certain things, let's just jump right into a few of the allegorical scenarios Steven Universe has explored. Let's start with our main character, Steven Universe. This is a kid who has healed both human and gems with their ailments, be it Connie's eyesight or Lapis Lazuli's cracked gem restoring her angelic wings. Steven has mastered the power of healing. His kind and caring nature, coupled with his ability to heal others' ailments, is quite reminiscent of God's only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, who was also known for healing those with varying degrees of sickness. Jesus restored a man's ability to walk. Steven restored Lapis's wings, giving her the ability to fly. Though Connie wasn't blind per se, wearing glasses can be considered a certain type of blindness. I mean, I know quite a few people who have said, "I'm blind without my glasses." All of these things strengthen the argument of Steven and his ability being a metaphor for Jesus Christ of Nazareth. We've also seen Steven breathe life into inanimate objects like a pumpkin and watermelons. We've even seen him bring someone back to life in Lars, which brings us to our next allegorical point in this video, Lars of the Stars. Lars died during the Wanted special, but was brought back to life by Steven. His body was risen upon Steven's tears falling upon Lars's body. Lars and his story of resurrection parallels that of Lazarus of Bethany, a subject of a prominent miracle of Jesus Christ in the Gospel of John, in which Jesus restores him to life 4 days after his death. In this particular allegory, Jesus is Steven and Lars is Lazarus. In fact, if you even take a look at the name Lars, it's awfully similar to that of Lazarus. Lazarus, you could even say. Lazarus? Yeah. Now, the raising of Lazarus is the climactic narrative, exemplifying the power of Jesus over the last and most irresistible enemy of humanity, death. Now, for this reason, it is given a prominent place in the gospel. Much like the particular episode of Lars's death, resurrection was given a prominent place within the Wanted special. It was the climactic conclusion to the special and, much like the story of Jesus in the gospel, exemplified the strongest power of our main character Steven, the power to overcome death, resurrecting Lars. To further drive the point home of Steven being a direct metaphor for Jesus, let's take a look at the 3 Gems and a Baby episode. This was a Christmas special. So there you go, where a baby Steven was given gifts from the 3 gems, garnet, amethyst, and pearl. This is, of course, a direct reference to the 3 wise men bringing gifts to Jesus Christ, baby Jesus Christ. Now, how was Steven even conceived? Let's move on to that particular point. Though some might think it was the natural way of conception, let's keep in mind that gems are projections of light, meaning it's impossible for a human to physically have sex with light projections. Trust me, I've tried more than 3 times. So this means that Steven had to have been the product of immaculate conception, similar to that of Jesus. Jesus was the only half God, half human being in the universe. And Steven is the only half gem, half human being in the universe as well. Totally paralleling each other. Wow. The parallels between the stories told in the Bible, Jesus and his adventures are uncanny. Jesus walked among the lepers and preached about love and acceptance. Steven Universe is a show built on the very same gospel of love and acceptance. where Stephen has openly accepted those shunned by society, similar to the lepers Jesus embraced in the Bible. There is, however, a role reversal in the fact that Jesus died for humanity's sins. Stephen is willing to die for the sins of his mother, who he is, in fact, the physical embodiment of. The show adds another nuanced level to the allegory, with Stephen being his own mom, prepared to die for her sins to save the world. Then there's various other comparisons you can draw, such as Lars and what's in store for him based on what we know about his new pink form. It can be assumed that Lars will possess the very same powers as Lion, who has the power to teleport and walk upon water. Now, take notice to that particular power of Lion. Lion can walk upon water. So it can be assumed Lars, who died and was brought back to life by Stephen, can in fact walk upon water as well. Similar to that of Jesus, where it's been described in the Bible, him being able to walk across water, a sign of divinity. So it's clear that Lars also has godlike powers and powers of divinity. You can even make an argument about Lapis being able to part the ocean and Moses parting the Red Sea. If you look deep into anything, you'll more than likely find a connection. But with the aforementioned examples I've given, there seems to be a strong case in favor of Steven Universe being a metaphor for Jesus and the overall story being an allegorical take on the Bible. We've seen things like this depicted before. The movie Mother is one of recent note that pulled off telling an allegorical story of Adam and Eve quite brilliantly. If you weren't able to pick up some of the nuances within the storyline, you might have missed it. The Crewniverse and their writing is something to be lauded. They've managed to make Steven Universe something more than just a show for kids. If you look deeper, you're bound to find something more meaningful and profound. But you know what? I'm very curious. What are your thoughts on this? Do you believe that there are subtle signs of things I've described here? Did I miss any other allegorical depictions of the Bible within Steven Universe? Let me know your comments down below. And if you aren't already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button for new content such as this. I have videos going up every single week, so there's something for everyone. And be sure to hit that bell icon to get updates on when new videos drop or when I go live with a live stream where you're encouraged to call in and share your thoughts with me. My name is Akeem. Thank you once again for watching, and until the next one, well, I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.